The Heartland is full of history, and one moment almost exactly 167 years ago is a prime example. Abraham Lincoln and Stephen Douglas squared off in 7 debates in the 1858 senatorial election in Illinois. The debate here in the Heartland showed the power of the press, the powerful words of Lincoln, and set the stage for Lincoln's presidential campaign 2 years later. In the fall of 1858, in the small Illinois town of Jonesboro, a huge movement in American history took place. This park is the site of the third debate between incumbent Illinois Senator Stephen Douglas and Republican nominee Abraham Lincoln.
Just hard to believe that Lincoln was actually here. And just the more you think about it, the more real it gets. Just to imagine that he came all the way down here from Springfield.
Linda and Dwayne Heilman are former educators and local historians. Mr. Heilman notes how Lincoln was basically in enemy territory in Jonesboro, a town of around 600, mostly Democrats, with only a handful of Republicans in 1858.
Democrat, I think there was 3 registered Republicans, or maybe 8. One person said 8. It was just a tough area for a Republican to come down and do anything, you know.
The third debate was the smallest but big for Jonesboro. 1,500 people spent hours here listening to the men speak, mostly about the issue of slavery.
There was quite a few arguments on both sides, and they both thought they were pretty strong on each one of them. But I think everybody was taking it in. I'm sure they did back in 1858 too. I'm sure they were really taking in what they were saying and trying to decide what they were going to do.
The contrast was striking in more ways than one. Douglas, at 5'4", was known as the Little Giant and criticized Lincoln's House Divided speech. Lincoln, who was 6'4", accused Douglas of using states' rights to justify slavery.
Well, the House Divided speech had already been given, and he referred to that.
Both of them referred to that.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
The debate in Jonesboro would resonate all over the country. The railroad was expanding then, and the telegraph was newly invented. That allowed 2 reporters from the Chicago Tribune to send their accounts of the debate all over the country almost instantly.
Then after that, Lincoln was invited to speak at several big meetings where he had to give speeches. Some of them, I think it was at a convention in Ohio and other places, and people heard him talk, and then they started liking what he was saying, becoming interested in him, and he kind of became a national person at that time.
Lincoln would go on to win the popular vote but lose the general election to Douglas. But Lincoln's words swayed more than just a few people, including in Jonesboro, and it would set the stage for his presidential campaign in 1860. And as they say, the rest is history. Lincoln would be elected president and be a pivotal figure, of course, in the Civil War and U.S. history.